Hi, welcome back to Tactics. This is a game practice on high pressing and pressing from the front, and this follows a technical and skill practice to make up the session. With the pitch design, we're using around 10 yards over the halfway line to the other end of the pitch. You can see we've got one central zone, which is highlighted. The players are locked into them zones, so two blues against three whites. We then got a white set up in a back four with two holding midfielders. The Blues have got a centre forward, two wide players, and then three-man midfield, which is a number 4, 8, and 10. The goalkeeper will start the practice, and the objective of the white team is to progress across that first line where the coaches are, or find a pass into the 7, 10, or 11 in that central area. Once the 7, 10, or 11 receive the ball, they can then look to go and score. If the whites do run the ball across the line, they can look to cross and link up with the 7, 10, and 11 to also score. Meanwhile, the Blues are looking to press, win the ball, and look to score in the main goal. As we spoke about, the 2 and 3 are locked into that area and they're trying to prevent the passes into the 7, 10, and 11. And here we can really do some work on our pressing patterns. So with the 9, we're looking to press the first pass from the goalkeeper and then prevent the 5 from switching the ball to the opposite centre-back or going back to the goalkeeper, trying to force them down one side of the pitch. And we have coaching detail for all of the players, the defensive players within this practice. You won't want to get all this information in one go, but as the practice goes on, you may focus on one player or one unit in particular. But just running through some of them, so the 10 and 8 behind the 9, we're asking them to press and pursue their mark. So trying to remain on the inside shoulder to secure the player. The number 4 will be shifting and protecting, so trying to prevent any progressive passes, but being prepared to jump press if the 10 or 8 end up jumping onto the opposite centre-back. The number 11 is looking to screen the pass inside to the 7, but also ready to go out to the number 2. Again, we're trying to prevent the number 2 from progressing across that line. So the positioning is important. You can get some real good coaching detail within this practice in terms of the 11's position. On the opposite side, we'll be asking the opposite winger to shift inside the pitch and secure critical spaces. So again, getting their position, we would be looking at inside of the centre circle or just inside of the 6-yard box, but just securing central spaces and being ready to shift across if they're needed to, if the ball is switched. The 3 and the 2 are in there to prevent any progressive passes into the 7, 10 and 11. They are outnumbered and the main focus of the practice is what's happening in front of them. Some coaching points we'll be looking for is the 7 and 8 remaining connected. So while one may jump, the other one will protect the space behind. So in this case, the 8 will jump onto the 6, which will force our 7 to come a little bit narrower and force the pass out wide. Vice versa, if the 7 jumps, the wide press, the 8 will hold their position and may be ready to jump out to the fullback if the ball is played to number 3. When the 8 does jump, we're looking at the 4 jumping behind. And from this position, we'd be expecting the 8 to try and force the play wide. Meanwhile, the 7 will be stopping any passes going inside, showing the pass into the 3, and then ready to press with an intensity. The Blues win the ball back, they look to score, and you may want to place a limit on the time available for them to score. As you can see in this example, the fullbacks got out, and from here the whites will be looking to score. We would add another transition element to this game, so once the whites do break the line, the coach will play a ball straight into the Blues on the right hand side. and they'll look to score as quickly as possible. Following that, play will always restart back with the goalkeeper, and then we can start to establish our pressing patterns on an individual or team basis, and just covering some of them team basis coaching points we'll be looking at. So shape, we're looking to shift into the correct pressing shape, everyone knowing their roles and responsibilities. If the white team do play through the press at any time, we're then looking for the team to shift to try and maintain compactness. And we're looking for all players to try and secure possession by winning the ball cleanly or forcing a mistake. There's lots of coaching detail within this practice, and you may want to break it down. It may be that you just focus on one player within the whole practice and get the pressing right. So we'd start from front to back, so starting with the 9 and then work backwards throughout the practice itself. Practice structure is here, all the area dimensions and the rules of the practice. And the stresses are there to challenge the players further. Place a time limit on the blue scoring when they win the ball back to keep the counter-attacking more realistic. And this is the individual coaching language we use to the players. So press and prevent, press and push, shift and protect with a little bit more detail following each one in front of you. Thanks for taking the time to watch this game practice. This is the third practice as part of the session. If you haven't seen the technical and skill practices, please visit the website to do so.